At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability, ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
This is Cashing Out on VSiN, the sports betting network.
All right, welcome in. It's a new hour of Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo, taking you through the late hours of your Monday night, right on into your Tuesday morning, especially for our friends over on the East Coast. We've got playoff basketball. We've got late night baseball, a hockey game that is going to ruin a lot of brackets potentially, as the Colorado Avalanche on the verge of going down 3-2 in this series, where despite Dallas having home ice advantage and having more points in the regular season, a lot of people thought it was a foregone conclusion that the Avalanche, who, if I'm not mistaken, were the favorites to hoist the Stanley Cup going into the postseason. A lot of people thought Colorado was going to make quick work of a Dallas team that had lost 7 or 8 straight, including that historic collapse to Vancouver at the end of the regular season there. But the Stars have found their groove. They've found some offense. They're up 5-2 with 11 minutes to go. I don't think they're going to blow another 3-goal lead in the final minute, or in this case, 11 minutes of action. Golden State has reclaimed the lead, although Houston is coming back a bit. Just got called for a moving screen, did the Rockets. So an offensive foul there. Warriors up 72-65. 4:44 to go in quarter number 3. And you want some late night baseball? We've got some late night baseball. The Miami Marlins in the 6th inning have tied the Los Angeles Dodgers at 5 runs apiece. LA was up 5-0 after 5. If you had a Dodgers first 5 run line ticket, good on you. But Dustin May unable to get out of the 6th. He gives up 3 earned, gets just 1 out. Is Miami about to take the lead? No. Wow, Otto Lopez just flew out, not just to the warning track, to the wall in center field. So that'll end the top of the 6th. But between Dustin May and Anthony Banda, the lefty, Miami puts up a 5 spot in the 6th. Edward Cabrera off the hook. He gave up 5 earned for the Marlins in 4 innings. And this is a new ball game, folks. My goodness. How did Miami do that? RBI single and then, wow, a grand slam. A pinch hit grand slam. Who is Myers? How do I not? Dane Myers, 29-year-old. That was just the 6th home run of his career. He's never appeared. This is season number 3. Never played in more than 44 games in each of the prior 2. This is game number 20 for him this year. He's now hitting .302 after that, although it was just his 53rd at-bat of the year. Dane Myers. Don't even know him. Pinch hit grand slam off of Anthony Banda to make it a 5-5 game at Dodger Stadium. So they head to the home half of the 6th. Dodgers will have 1, 2, and 3 up. Ohtani, Betts, Freeman. Ohtani 1 for 1 with 2 walks. Been on base all 3 times tonight. Mookie 1 for 3 with an RBI. Freddie 1 for 2 with a walk and an RBI. Houston's clawing back, 72-70. So after Golden State opened up on like an 18-1 run, they were up 68-58. Houston has answered with a 12-4 run. They were catching 8 and a hook when they were down 10. Since then, 12-4 run of their own. Now, if they can get a stop and a bucket, they can tie or take the lead. Let's see what they get here. Nope, nice spin move, kissing it off the glass. Was that Podziemski again? It was. He's had a night finally. Talked about him as a guy who's really failed to show up for the Warriors when they've been in need of some tertiary scoring options behind Steph and Jimmy. But Podziemski, with Jimmy out there and not really doing much on offense, got 8. Podziemski's got a team-high 18. He's 4 of 7 from deep, 6 of 13 from the floor. Have yourself a day. Houston, back on the board. It looks like they're going to the free throw line here as they make it 74-71. Rockets, all 5 starters still have 8 or more. Jalen Green's the only starter who hasn't scored yet in the second half. Şengün has 15 and 6 as we await the second free throw from the big man, who has frankly had a phenomenal series. So we await that upcoming free throw. We'll get you some live odds. Just got to hit refresh there. And Houston down 3, as I believe he missed the second free throw. Yep, he missed it. Catching 4.5. So they were just plus 8.5. Now plus 4.5. And, is that a foul going for the rebound on Golden State? Rockets going to go back to the line. Steven Adams hit the deck hard. Houston money line, if you're interested, plus $1.50 was just $1.75. So maybe Adams is going back to the free throw line, or Houston's going to be inbounding it from under Golden State's basket, because they just dropped 25 cents to plus $1.50 on the money line in that one. Ohtani's on, shocker, to lead off the bottom of the 6th for the Dodgers. Is Mookie out of the game? Am I reading this right? No. Oh, okay. No, that's incorrect. Was that Ohtani or was that Rojas leading off the inning? It said Ohtani on the graphic. It said 1, 2, and 3 was due up. But no, that was incorrect. So apologies for saying it was Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman due up. It was Rojas, Ohtani, Betts. And Rojas reaches on a bunt single as the Marlins will go to the bullpen, or the arm barn, if anyone from Pete is watching the show, with Shohei Ohtani due up for already the 4th time in just the 6th inning. We've had some offensive outbursts on a Monday. Good day for overs, huh? Astros Tigers go over. Twins Guardians, well, the Twins single-handedly went over. Dodgers Marlins going over. Mets 19 runs in D.C. What an offensive outburst for the Mets and for Brandon Nimmo. Franchise record, tied a franchise record. Carlos Delgado did it, I believe 17 years ago, Subway Series. 9 RBI for Nimmo. How about the Rockets tying it up? Şengün, who else? Şengün hit a free throw. Adams hit a free throw. Şengün hit a bucket. 74 all. And here's a 3-ball. Podziemski again. Kid's on fire. Wow. How about it? 21 points. 5 of 8 from 3. Let's see if the Rockets can answer here. Podziemski, first-round pick out of Santa Clara, West Coast Conference, year 2 for the Warriors. Played in 74 games as a Rook, started 28 this year. 64 games, started 33 though. Averaged 12 points, 5 boards, 3.5 assists. The 6'4" 2-guard out of Santa Clara. Well, he's stepping up. They needed tertiary scoring options. He's giving it to them. Let's see what the Rockets have here. Is that a foul, a travel? That was certainly not a good shot by Şengün, but I think he might have gotten hacked. Yeah, Kerr's complaining, so I'm assuming it was a foul called. Hey, folks, Derby Day is almost here. How about it? Saturday, May 3rd. This Saturday, the Kentucky Derby. So why not make your first bet your best bet? With First Bet, you can wager on Churchill Downs, Belmont Park, and tracks around the world, all from your phone. Just go to firstbet.com. That's the number 1, stbet.com, and enter the promo code VSIN200 for a $200 sign-up bonus. Don't miss out. Bet smarter on the Derby with firstbet.com. First free throw, good for Şengün. It's a 2-point game. Well, wait. I'm going to probably, inside 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter, going to wait for either a commercial break or the end of the quarter to update the live odds, because the TV and DraftKings are not currently in sync with the score. So I want to make sure I get you the most accurate odds possible. You know what's crazy about this series? Every game has felt so close, yet every game has been decided by double digits. Game 1, 95-85. That was Easter Sunday night. Rockets were up early. Warriors stormed back. Had that big second and early portion of the third quarter. Rockets came back, made it, I believe, a 1-bucket game, and then Golden State pulled away. Game 2 was a little more lopsided. Rockets wire to wire without Jimmy when he went down early. Game 3, the Rockets led into the second half. Golden State won by 11, but they were trailing in the second half, and then Houston stormed back and made it tight in the fourth quarter. So every game has been decided by 10 to 15 points, but these have all been close contests. This has been a fun series. Şengün's second free throw, down 2. I said series, and my phone goes off. Someone thought I was talking to her. Free throw's no good, so Houston just 3 for their last 6 at the line. 14 of 25 on the night, 56%. Golden State's 12 of 13, 92%. Difference in the game right there. Rockets have made more, but they've also missed way more, as playoff Jimmy's got an N1. How about that? Jimmy going up strong. 79-75. Butler headed to the line. He just went up fearless over Steven Adams. Said, you want to try and stop me? Be my guest. That's Jimmy. Even coming off an injury where people weren't sure if he was going to be able to suit up for this one. He's suiting up and he's playing hard. That is playoff Jimmy, ladies and gentlemen. Expect nothing less out of him. Free throws good. 80-75. Warriors back up 5. They've outscored Houston this quarter 30-18. So a big third quarter. Şengün. Wow, the big man. Spin move up and under, getting fancy. I find it wild when bigs put on moves like that. I mean, Şengün's got a decent outside game. Goes up there, tips the board to Adams, gets tipped away, and I believe that's Van Fleet coming away with it for the Rockets. Down 3, chance to tie. Yeah, Şengün's bringing the ball up here. How big exactly is he? Because this is a guy who has great size, but also looks like he was looking for an N1 there and didn't get called. Good handles. Yeah, he's 6'11". 6'11", 240, only 22 years old. I thought he had been around. Yeah, he has been around a while. This is year 4 for him. Averaged 19 and 10 on the season with 5 dimes. Does it all. This kid is a rising star in this league. More on this game, more on the Western Conference up next. We're going to focus on the Lakers-Wolves series. It's Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to Cashing Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Cashing Out continues with me, Joe Ceraulo, taking you through the late hours of your Monday night, right on in to your Tuesday morning, especially for our friends over on the East Coast. A lot of NBA action on Tuesday. One series that won't be in action, the Lakers and the Timberwolves, not till Wednesday, Game 5 at the Crypto Arena. But we're still breaking it down as we welcome in on the Progressive Guest Line our friend, the host of Lakers Nation, Trevor Lane, into the show. Trevor, how are you, my friend, and how are you feeling about the Lakers, potentially their chances of making the rare 3-1 comeback?
Well, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on the show. But obviously, I'd be doing a bit better if the Lakers were performing better in this series. The 3-1 comeback, it's tough. It's happened, so it's not impossible, but very, very difficult to pull off. And especially with how well this Wolves team's been playing, the Lakers are facing some long odds. That's for sure. Going to be an uphill climb now, but all they can do is take it one game at a time.
So, Trevor, I wanted to ask you, and I've spoken about this briefly myself. I think I fell into the same trap and made the same mistake. I think a lot of people with this series, the way it was priced going in with the Lakers is about $2 favorites, really heavily favored in this one. I think they got too wrapped up in the star power and LeBron and Luka and maybe the seeding, a 3 against a 6, and didn't actually look into the matchup itself and the depth issues the Lakers possess while Minnesota's got a really strong bench. And the fact that Minnesota, despite being the 6th seed, had 49 wins and the Lakers had 50. This season. They had one game in the standings separating them. They were much more evenly matched than I think the seeding or the odds would have indicated. And I'm guilty of falling into the trap too. But do you think that this was just a case of an overlooked team that shouldn't have been from the start?
I think it's just the Western Conference is what we thought it was going to be heading into the season. And that is a very, very close conference where the difference in finishes was not going to be that great. We even thought there'd be a couple of teams. It didn't wind up that way due to injuries and some performance issues and things like that with teams like the Pelicans and the Suns. But we thought there might be playoff quality teams that didn't even make the play-in the West. This is a very, very deep conference and not a lot of separation between a lot of these teams, aside from obviously the Oklahoma City Thunder. So the Wolves only finished one game behind the Lakers. It's really not much. The 3-6 gap makes it sound like much more than it actually is. And yeah, the Wolves have done a great job exposing the Lakers' lack of depth. And I think that's why we've been seeing consistently in these games, the Lakers just running out of gas in the fourth quarter, and the Wolves are just finishing much stronger than they are.
Yeah, Minnesota holding the Lakers to 20-19 in the two fourth quarters, games 3 and 4 played in Minnesota. Lakers led in the third or later, both of those games. So, just like you said, running out of gas, but that's been the Lakers' issue, right? Everyone, I think, talked about size as the Lakers' primary issue. Maybe it was depth. And you're seeing guys who at times in the regular season gave meaningful minutes, like a Gabe Vincent, not being trusted here in the postseason to do so. So, I feel like I'm noticing the same issue with my Knicks. And even though they're probably going to win this series and I think get washed by Boston in the next round, the Knicks have a depth issue. What are you more concerned with the Lakers? What aspect of their game has Minnesota exploited the most? The size, the depth? I mean, it's all been a problem.
Well, certainly in game 4, it was both those things, right? Minnesota crushed them on the offensive glass. And so that was a big issue for LA. But the bigger thing for me, it's the depth. And what message did JJ Redick send to his bench players when he played the starters, or nominally the starter, but Dorian Finney-Smith started as well in that group, playing that group the entire half, something that we haven't seen in nearly 30 years happen in the NBA. I think that showed the lack of belief that he's got in the bench unit right now. Guys like Jared Vanderbilt, guys like Gabe Vincent, simply not getting onto the floor right now for the Lakers. Jackson Hayes technically started the game and only played 4 minutes. And this is what NBA playoffs do. They tend to trim down who is able to play in these games. Weaknesses get exposed because teams will target players that have any weaknesses in their game, and they will keep going after them play after play after play until they're stopped. So this is a real challenge for the Lakers with this lack of depth that they've got, and it's going to be more glaring in the postseason than it is in the regular season. Guys that you can play in the regular season, you can't always play in the NBA playoffs. They are a different animal, and that's been a big problem for the Lakers. And whenever their season ends, whether it's in game 5 or sometime later, that's something they're going to have to address during the summer.
Absolutely. Trevor, they're laying 5.5, 6 points as favorites in game 5. Game 1 at home, they got blown out. They responded game 2 with a pretty lopsided victory of their own. What do you think they do in game 5? How do they respond to a couple of tight losses in Minnesota?
That's the big question, right? It's what are the Lakers going to do? What's their mindset heading into game 5? And we're going to find out sometime in this game. I don't know if it'll be early, if it'll be late. At some point, the Wolves are going to make a real run, and the thought in the Lakers' head is going to pop in. It's going to be, do we really want to get on that long flight all the way back to Minnesota or not? And that's where we're going to find out the resolve of this team. How badly do they want to keep competing? Because that can start to sound pretty good. That idea of, I don't want to get on that flight, and we'll see if they break. So I don't know what we're going to see, what the response is going to be. We see teams, the Miami Heat did it earlier tonight, that just let go of the rope and they say, that's it, we're done, and we're tapping out. Hopefully that's not what the Lakers wind up doing, but if they do, then I definitely like the Wolves side of that line. If the Lakers show up to fight, though, I think this has been a very close series, and I think they very well could take game 5 and move on to game 6. But it's going to depend on how badly do they want to go play another game in Minnesota.
Trevor Lane with us, the host of Lakers Nation, joining us on the Progressive Guest Line. Trevor, I got to ask about the other team in LA, because that series has been a dogfight, and we've gotten some incredibly exciting contests there between the Clippers and the Nuggets. What are your thoughts on the finish on Saturday? Now game 5 coming up. Who do you think prevails in this series?
It's unreal. I had Clippers in 7 going into the series. Maybe it was 6, my official prediction. I thought the Nuggets defense was going to be a big problem for them going into the series, but they've done a nice job. That finish, Aaron Gordon, oh my goodness. I mean, talk about a timely dunk there, just barely by a fraction of a second, gets the win for Denver. It's been the best series, I believe, in the playoffs so far, and it's just a battle. These two teams, and great to see Kawhi Leonard playing the way that he has been. James Harden exercising some of the playoff demons that we've seen in the past. I don't know how this is going to finish. All I can say is at this point, we deserve 7 games of this series because it's been so much fun to watch those teams battle it out.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't be opposed to that. How about this Warriors-Rockets series going on right now? Golden State's up, 88-84 with 9.5 to go as we speak. Rockets making it a 2-point game. Who do you think wins tonight? How do you think the series unfolds ultimately?
You know, I do think the Warriors are going to end up winning this one here. The Rockets, they went on that big 18-1 run to start the third quarter. They've been great. Obviously, tonight it's been a little bit of chippiness. We saw it with Draymond. We saw it with Dylan Brooks. Tari Eason was getting involved. You know, they kind of like that little extra bit of spice to a playoff series. But I do think Golden State's going to walk away with this one, and I believe they're probably going to win this series. I had high hopes for the Rockets heading into the series, but their half-court offense is just being exploited a little bit too much. They struggle to score the ball in that half-court, and Golden State's defense has been awfully good. So I do like Golden State to win this series and move on. I initially had Rockets in 7. I'm going to flip that now and say the Warriors get it done in 7 games.
I had Rockets in 7 as well. I've got Houston 27-1 to win the West, which I'll preface this by saying I thought the value was too good to pass up. I didn't actually think they'd win the West, but I figured if they won this series, I'd be presented with some nice opportunities to hedge along the way, especially if they end up winning this series and drawing Minnesota instead of the Lakers. Then you might get some really good value on that Rockets ticket. Right now to win the West, Oklahoma City is minus 180. Massive odds-on favorites. Then you have Golden State plus 650, Minnesota plus 850, the Clippers at 10-1. I mean, is it going to be anyone besides the Thunder, or do you see this as just a runaway train for OKC?
I think it's OKC. You know, look, did they take their foot off the gas a little bit in game 3 and game 4 against Memphis? Maybe, but when teams show you who they are, we should believe it. Best net rating we've ever seen in the regular season. This team defensively, they're at another level. We always say defense wins championships. This Oklahoma City Thunder team, they have been great. I don't think they're going to go through and not suffer any losses, but this is the team that I think they've been the number 1 team in the West all season long, and I don't think that's going to change here in the playoffs. I've got them making it through. To me, it doesn't matter if it's Golden State, if it's Minnesota, if it's the Clippers. Those teams can certainly put up a fight, but OKC's on another level. I've got them going all the way to the finals.
Trevor, final 40 seconds here. How about the East? Boston up 3-1 over the Magic. It feels like we haven't seen their best ball. Cleveland we have. They just set the record for the most lopsided series win in NBA history over the Heat. Who do you like coming out of the East?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all just waiting for the East Finals, right? We all know who the top 2 teams are. It's Boston and Cleveland. I still think both teams are similar quality, but I think the matchup problems that Boston presents are going to be too tough for the Cavs to handle. So I would have Boston getting through again and into the finals where they'd play the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Celtics and Thunder, you, me, and seemingly everyone else has that as their NBA Finals. I'm right with you on that, my friend. Thanks so much for the time, Trevor. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Hey, thank you again for having me.
Our buddy Trevor Lane, the host of Lakers Nation, joining us on the Progressive Guest Line as the Lakers have another day. They've got about 36 hours to go before Game 5, but they'll try to fend off elimination when Game 5 and that series resume. We're going to resume on the other side. Houston's got the lead. Don't go anywhere. It's Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo.
Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Cashing Out continues here on VSiN with me, Joe Ceraulo, taking you through the end of this Rockets-Warriors game. They're at commercial break. You know what that means. Let's update some live odds. With 6:45 to go in the game, Houston is up 2. They're laying 1.5, minus 20 cents. Rockets money line plus 105. This is actually identical. I believe this was flipped in I want to say the second quarter. I remember there was a point where it was 1.5 Golden State. I said, if you like the Rockets, take them plus 105. If you like Golden State, lay the 1.5. Well, now Rockets laying 1.5, minus 35 cents money line. Warriors plus 105 on the money line. That total up to 217.5. Looks like we're going to have an over in this one, 94-92 with 6:45 to go. We've had more offensive fireworks than I would have anticipated in this contest. Let's take a look at some live player points props. Mentioned Steph, 25.5 was his number. He is stuck on 14. It's been all Brandon Podziemski. He's gone over 25.5. He's got 26. Steph with 14. Even Jimmy has surpassed him with 16. Warriors mixing and matching the lineup. Buddy Hield got the start. Jonathan Kuminga has not played. Moses Moody, who has started at times, only 12 minutes. For Houston, Jalen Green stuck on 8. Green and Curry, the top two offensive threats, have been absolutely zoned in on. Şengün's got 27 and 8. My goodness, the guy is a beast. Van Fleet, 19. Thompson, 17. Brooks, 11. Go figure, Jalen Green had 8 at halftime. He's the only Rocket has not scored in the second half among their starters. Bench production, 12 points for the Rockets. Jabari Smith has 12. Eason and Adams with 3 apiece. For the Warriors, 3 guys have combined for 18. Quentin Post has 13 of those 18 points. I believe he had 12 at the half, so light second half for each bench. Rockets getting to the rim, no good. Şengün, who else? Wow, give him 29 and 9. Offensive board turned lay-in. 96-92, Houston. Şengün's got 19 in the second half. This guy's a beast. How do you not love him? See if the Rockets clamp down on defense. Nice little deflection into Draymond's hands. Wasn't going to shoot a 3 after airballing his last. He's got it. Left wing, drives in. Draymond to the rack. Rejected by Adams. Oh, baby. The Rockets came to play game 4. I am loving this. What a defensive display by Houston. Adams doing exactly what they're paying him to do in 24 minutes off the bench. Veteran journeyman, big guy. What a game he's having. Only 3 points. Try 3 blocks for Steven Adams. The defense from down under. Curry with a 3. Wow, hits that at the buzzer. Just beat the shot clock violation. 1 point game. This is some contest. We'll give you the live odds at the next stoppage. Curry needed that. He hadn't scored in years. Şengün taking the top of the key to the rim, going back at it. Offensive tip in Adams on the board. Wow. Şengün down. Warriors are pushing it. This pace is picking up. The tempo is picking up. This is some game. Alley-oop to Jimmy. Off the glass. I believe that was Draymond. Might have been Buddy Hield, actually, who found him from the right wing. Just alone by the rim. Wasn't an alley-oop dunk. Kissed it in. But 1 point game. I mean, this is some contest. Here are the Rockets now. Trying to get a quick pass in down low. No good. Front rim. Scrum on the floor. Jimmy comes away with it. I believe that was Draymond on the floor who got it to Jimmy. So Green doing what Draymond does. And this game is really picking up. My goodness. Here's a 3 from Curry. Left wing. No good. Front iron. Offensive board attempt by Buddy Hield. And it looks like we've got a disagreement on who it was out on. So we'll see who might have touched that last. Man, they just showed a replay of the 3 that Steph made last time down the court. Obviously just missed that one. What a pump fake to get Şengün to leave his feet. So it's going to be Warriors ball. Down 98-97. 5 flat to go. Jimmy's got it. This thing's going to come down to the wire. If you were able to get Houston plus 8.5 when they were down 10 after the Warriors made that 18-1 run, good on you. And what a rejection. Holy cow. Steven Adams. I mean, I feel like I'm watching, my goodness, I'll throw it back for my fellow Knicks fans out there. I feel like I'm watching Tyson Chandler about a decade ago. The way Adams just coming out of everywhere to block shots. That's number 4. 4.6 seconds for the Warriors to shoot. Buddy Hield gets the inbound way at the top of the key. Couple of dribbles into the paint. Layup, out of control, no good. Another offensive board, though, for Golden State. They're doing a really good job at getting second chances. And Podziemski got a good look at a corner 3. Rare miss. Guy was 5 for 8 from beyond the arc. Couldn't connect there. A break for the Rockets as they look to slow the pace. And I believe they're calling timeout now. Golden State shooting just 42% from the floor. Houston, 51%. But the Warriors much more efficient at the charity stripe in this one. The Rockets from the line, 19 of 31, 61%. Believe it or not, folks, it's better than the percentage that they were shooting at earlier. Golden State's 15 of 17, 88%. So less volume, less chances, but less misses with that. Rockets inbounding, 4.5 to go. What do we have? Foul call? I don't think that 3 counted. Now a whole bunch of who, me on the court? Well, we'll see what happened after the stoppage, as it looks like there was some contact with Kevon Looney and Steven Adams. But folks, I want to remind you that if you want to know where the money's really going, unlike other sources, our splits right here at VSiN come straight from Circa and DraftKings, giving you insight into where the sharp action's going. Circa's known, of course, for taking big bets from the pros, while DraftKings provides a broader market perspective, meaning you're getting the real action, not just public money, but the kinds of wagers that move lines. See the percentage of bets versus the handle on every game across every major sport, helping you make smarter, more informed bets. Get VSiN's summer special right now for just $59. Can't beat that deal through August 1st at VSiN.com/subscribe. And there's a 3. Fred VanVleet, how you doing? Give him 22. Only Şengün's got more. Rockets, 101. Dubs, 97. Dubs might catch an L. Houston up 4. Don't believe they've led by more than 4. Maybe they've had a 6-point lead here in the second half. They were up 7 at the break. Golden State answered immediately with an 18-1 run. How about this nugget? 2025 NBA playoffs. First team to reach 100, 25-2 straight up. Well, the Rockets, you can currently get, wow, Golden State not wasting any time to answer. A quick layup and a 3. Warriors are up 102-101, but if you want to follow that first to 100 rule, you can get Houston plus 125 on the money line. So Rockets get to 100 first. Dubs answer with 5 straight. And now Houston is a plus money bet on the money line. Final 3 minutes are going to be incredible here. Rockets opened up I shouldn't say opened up, got to a 4-point lead. Buddy Hield from deep, answering immediately. How about it? This game is crazy. This is the kind of seesaw affair you want. This feels like a game 7. It's only game 4, folks. Although for Houston, it might as well be game 7. You go down 3-1 to Steph and company, you're toast. You're not going anywhere. Timeout Rockets. What is that? 3:18 to go. If you see me moving my neck, for those of you watching the broadcast, apologies. There's a tripod right in front of the clock on the bottom right part of the screen. So 102-101 Golden State, 3:18 to go in quarter number 4. And your current odds, Warriors now minus 1.5, juice 20 cents. And the Rockets on the money line are plus 120. How about that? This game has been so back and forth. You know what game wasn't? Dallas, Colorado. Stars, 6. Avs, 2. That was your final. That game ended, I want to say, about 10, 12 minutes ago. But Dallas taking a commanding 3-2 lead in the series. Now, they're going back to Colorado for game 6, but the Stars, I mean, this has been such a back and forth series. Dallas has to feel good about themselves. They came in missing their best defenseman, losing 7-8 straight, and dropping game 1 on home ice. Now they've won 3 out of their last 4. How about the Dodgers game still going on? LA, man on first, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th, still 5-5. Dodgers were up 5-0 after 5 innings. The Marlins put up that 5 spot in the top of the 6th thanks to a pinch hit grand slam. And now Mookie Betts, who's 1 for 4 with an RBI single, up with a man on first, 2 outs. He's working with an 0-2 count in the bottom of the 8th. A strike away, and did he go? No, he didn't. 1-2 count. Strike away from this game being knotted up going into the 9th. The Marlins, a massive underdog in this one. We've got late night baseball and playoff basketball. It's Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Fred VanVleet, have a night. 104 all. Warriors with the ball. A minute even to go here. Jimmy, corner three, up. Did they call a foul on that? Oh, give me a break. Yeah, Jimmy's really milking that one. Come on. Golden State was scrambling. Rockets defense was sensational. Dylan Brooks closed out on Jimmy. Oh, come on. They're saying Jimmy landed on Brooks's foot, didn't have a place to land. Come on, he jumped like 2 feet in front of him to touch Brooks. Brooks didn't impede on Jimmy's space. Jimmy impeded on Brooks's space. Come on. Give me a break. Butler to the line for three when we come back. 58 seconds to go. 104 all. Man, I thought Golden State was about to bury Houston. Up 104-101 on a 7-0 run. Buddy Hield took a jumper mid-range. Back iron, front iron, up, back iron. I thought it was going to drop in and out. And then VanVleet comes and answers with a three. Cashing out with Joe Ceraulo continues as we should take you, barring anything crazy and overtime or whatnot, to the end of this game. But how about it? Tie game, 104 all. Rockets have outscored Golden State here in the fourth quarter, 24-22. Jimmy headed to the line. The live spread 2.5 now. Golden State minus 2.5, 10 cents. Rockets plus 2.5 is minus 20 cents. On the money line, if you think Houston, who has had guys with shit like Şengün and VanVleet display absolute ice in their veins, if you think Houston can pull this one off, they're currently plus 240. I hate that call on Brooks, by the way. That is, in a situation like this, that feels very ticky-tack. I mean, Butler goes up, follows through. I mean, did Brooks touch his left thigh when he was in the air? I mean, give me a break. There was more contact in the Knicks-Pistons game. How many is he shooting? Yeah, we got it on mute in the studio, so I'll let you know how many he's shooting when the second one goes up and I see guys either stand still or go for the board. Believe it's a three. He landed inside the line, but I believe that is a three. So should be Butler to the line for three. 58.7 seconds left. They put 0.6 of a second back on the clock. I just hate a call like that late. Houston played such good defense. Golden State was discombobulated. I mean, they were playing a game of hot potato. Draymond almost turned it over, coughed it up. Steph got rid of it, couldn't get rid of it quick enough. What is this? Jimmy's not going to the line? What the heck is the call? No, he's got to be going to the line, right? A lot of confusion here. Yeah, coach's challenge. Okay, so it was a coach's challenge. Jimmy is going to the line 4-3. We've got some clarity there. And the first one's good. Ugh. Oh, rattled in. I said it was good because I saw unfortunately, when I had to go to the play-by-play to see what the exact ruling was, I saw it was 105, 104. It was good. It wasn't pretty. Second one is up. Second one is pretty. 106, 104. Inside of 59 ticks left. 2-point game, a lot better than a 3-point deficit. Steph on the bench? I guess Golden State's going to be dropping back on defense after this. They've got 2 timeouts. Jimmy, ice in his veins, 3 for 3. Welcome back, playoff Jimmy. 10 of 10 at the line. 39 minutes after missing game 3. 25 points. Almost all in the second half. I mean, Jimmy has been absolutely nails. Here's Şengün now looking to back down the defender. Major size advantage here. 6'11 to the rim. Kisses it in. 1-point game. 41 to go. Timeout. Dubs. Makes sense. They had Steph on the bench. Give up a bucket. You're still up 1. Call timeout. You have 1 left after this. Get the world's best shooter of all time, back on the court. Folks, whether you're placing your first bet or you've been playing the ponies for years, good news. VSiN's Kentucky Derby betting guide is out, and it's got everything you need to get ahead on Derby Day. Inside the guide, You'll find a clear breakdown of how to bet on horse racing, great for beginners, detailed previews of both the Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks, and best bets from top racing experts like our own Mike Somich to help serious bettors cash in. This guide drops April 30th, and it's yours with a VSiN Pro subscription. Start today for just $9.99. Get your first 30 days of VSiN Pro, including the Derby Guide, daily best bets, exclusive betting splits, and more. So sign up right now. VSiN.com/subscribe. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. We've got a 1-point game up by the Bay Area. Golden State, 107. Houston, 106. 41 seconds to go. Dubs laying 2 and a hook live. Money line, Rockets are up to plus 280. Down 1. Warriors, minus $4. You can't bet that. I would say if it was 1.5, probably Rockets money line. 2.5, I don't know, plus 280 is juicy, but I'm inclined to take the points on that end. If you took them plus 8.5 earlier when we brought that up, down 10, 68-58 early in the third quarter, you're probably feeling comfortable right now, barring overtime. I mean, even with overtime, you would think 8.5's a number both teams would stay within. But if you had Houston plus 8.5, you probably don't care who wins. You just want this thing to end in 41 seconds. Steph inbounds it. Jimmy's got it. He's got 25, most of which have come here in the second half. It's been Jimmy down the stretch, not Steph. Jimmy looking to back his way in. Little spin move. No good. Back iron. Draymond fighting for the ball. Wow. Freaking Draymond Green. He is a pest. Didn't get the offensive board, but got, who was that? Dylan Brooks to knock it out of bounds. Warriors going to get a second chance with 29 on the game clock and 14 on the shot clock, and they inbound it right back to Jimmy, who hands it off to Steph. Up 1. A 3 makes it dangerous. Steph, little floater in. No good. Rockets ball. Shot clock's off. Houston's pushing it, but they can wait. They have a timeout. Wow, that was a lot of contact for a no call, and they'll use that timeout. Van Fleet looking at the stripe saying, what the hell? Van Fleet ran into a wall in Podziemski. Kept his dribble, but fell to the ground. No call. I mean, not for nothing. If you're going to call the ticky-tack nonsense on Dylan Brooks with Jimmy in the corner shooting that 3, there was way more contact between Van Fleet and Podziemski right there than there was between Brooks and Jimmy. I get it if you don't want fouls and whistles to impact the game down the stretch, but you let it happen with 58 seconds to go. You got to call it both ways with 13 seconds to go. I don't care if the home team, home fans are going to be mad at you. Guess what? After Houston would shoot some free throws, Golden State would get the ball back with 13 seconds left and a chance to win. I mean, Van Fleet ran into a wall. No call. He fell to the ground. If he didn't keep his dribble, there would have had to be a call of some sort. Rockets timeout. 13 seconds to go. Wow. All right, let's take a look at the odds one last time. It is money line only at this point, folks. Spread is off the board. Total is off the board. Golden State, 107. Houston, 106. Warriors money line was just minus $4 a minute ago. If you laid that, I'm sorry. It's now minus 180. Houston was just plus 280 a minute ago. If you took that, good on you. It's now plus 140. Let's get a finale here in game 4. 13.1 seconds left. Rockets out of timeouts. Warriors can stall. They've got 1 left if they want to use it here back to back. Otherwise, Houston inbounds it. Godspeed, Golden State. 13 seconds in this game. I've got 1:40 until commercial break. Dodgers, by the way, bottom 9th. Guy on first, 1 out. Will Smith up. Chance to walk it off. How about the Marlins come back there? Who's going to be inbounding? Dylan Brooks to inbound. You got to think they're looking to get it to Şengün or Van Fleet. They get it to Van Fleet. He gets it to Şengün. Top of the key. 10 seconds. Working his way into the paint. Draymond on Şengün. 1 hand over Draymond. No good. Jimmy board foul. Wow. Wow. Draymond Green D'd up Şengün, went over to the announcer's table and yelled something at someone. Jimmy to the line. He's been perfect at the stripe. 4 seconds left. Houston, even if Jimmy hits them both, will be able to tie it with a 3. But man, oh man, as great as Alperen Şengün has been in this game, he rushed that shot. Draymond, gray in his beard and all, put the pressure on him. And Şengün, who's got 31 points and 10 boards in a tremendous double-double effort in this game 4, looked like he got flustered by Draymond Green and by the moment. And Jimmy, 62% from the line on the season, hits the first. He's 11 for 11 tonight. Golden State by 2. 4 seconds to go. Jimmy's got one more free throw coming. The Rockets will either tie it or lose it at the break. It's Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo.